I would
cryptocurrency?
classify it as crypto property because the US dollar is a currency. So
Got it.
unless your crypto asset is pegged algorithmically or stably to the value of the dollar, it's not a currency, it's a property or it's an asset.
So then, can you still man the case that Dogecoin is the best cryptocurrency then? Because Bitcoin is not even in that list.
The debate is going to be whether it's property or security. And there's a debate whether it's decentralized enough. So let's assume it was decentralized.
Yep.
Well, it's increasing at not quite 5% a year inflation rate, but it's not 5% exponentially. It's like a plus 5 million, 5% something. Captain is less. I forget the exact number, but it's an inflationary property. It's got a lower inflation rate than the US dollar, and it's got a much lower inflation rate than many other fiat currencies. So I think you could say that.
But don't you see the power of meme, the power of ideas, the power of fun or whatever mechanism is used to captivate a community?
I do, but they're meme stocks. It doesn't absolve you of your ethical and securities liabilities if you're promoting it. So I don't have a problem with like people buying a stock.
Michael Saylor is a well-known proponent of Bitcoin, and one of his primary reasons in support of the flagship digital currency is that he believes it is a critical hedge against the dangers of inflation. Recently, the MicroStrategy chairman and CEO shared his thoughts on why he believes BTC is a viable solution to inflation, the potential of wider Bitcoin adoption, and what Twitter under Elon Musk may imply for the cryptocurrency community. Hello and welcome to Money Talks. In today's video, Michael Saylor speaks about digital energy assets including Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, and Dogecoin. So without wasting any time, let's dive right into the video.
The most famous manifestation of digital energy is Bitcoin. Bitcoin's a crypto asset. It's a crypto asset that has monetary value. I'd call it a crypto asset network. The goal is to create $1 billion block of pure energy in cyberspace, one that I could then move with no friction at the speed of light, right? It's the equivalent to putting 1 million pounds in orbit. How do I actually launch something into orbit, right? How do I launch something into cyberspace such that it moves friction free? And the solution is a decentralized proof of work network, right? Satoshi's solution was, I'm going to establish a protocol running on a distributed set of computers that will maintain a constant supply of never more than 21 million Bitcoin subdividable by 100 million Satoshis, each transferable via transferring private keys. Now, the innovation is to create that in a ethical, durable fashion, right? The ethical innovation is I want it to be property and not a security. A bushel of corn, an acre of land, a stack of lumber, and a bar of gold, and a Bitcoin are all property. And that means they're all commonly occurring elements in the world. You could call them commodities, but commodity is a little bit misleading, and I'll tell you why in a second. But they're all distinguished by the fact that no one entity or person or government controls them. If you have a barrel of oil and you're in Ukraine versus Russia versus Saudi Arabia versus the US, you have a barrel of oil, right? And it doesn't matter what the premier in Japan or the mayor of Miami Beach thinks about your barrel. They cannot wave their hand and make it not a barrel of oil or a cord of wood, right? And so property is just a naturally occurring element in the universe, right? And
Why use the word ethical? And sorry to, I may interrupt occasionally. Why ethical assigned to property?
Because if it's a security would be an example of a share of a stock or a crypto token controlled by a small team. And in the event that something is a security because some small group or some identifiable group can control its nature, character, supply, then it really only becomes ethical to promote it or sell it pursuant to fair disclosures. So I'll give you maybe practical example. I'm the mayor of Chicago. I give a speech. My speech, I say, I think everybody in Chicago should own their own farm and have a chicken in the backyard and their own horse and an automobile. That's ethical. I give the same speech and I say, I think everybody in Chicago should buy Twitter stock, sell their house or sell their cash and buy Twitter stock. Is that ethical? Not really. Well, at that point, you've entered into a conflict of interest because what you're doing is you're promoting an asset which is substantially controlled by a small group of people, the board of directors or the CEO of the company. So how would you feel if the president of the United States said, I really think Americans should all buy Apple stock? You would, especially if you worked at Google but you worked anywhere, you'd be like, why isn't he saying buy mine? Right? A security is a proprietary asset in some way, shape, or form. And the whole nature of securities law, it starts from this ancient idea, thou shalt not lie, cheat, or steal. I think if you decompose or segment the crypto market, you've got crypto property. Bitcoin is the king of that. And other Bitcoin forks that wanted to be a bearer instrument, store of value. It would be a property, a Bitcoin Cash or a Litecoin, something like that. Then you've got cryptocurrencies. I don't think Bitcoin's a currency because a currency I define in nation state sense. A currency is a digital asset that you can transfer as in a transaction without incurring a taxable obligation. So that means it has to be a stable dollar or a stable euro or a stable yen, a stable coin. So I think you've got cryptocurrencies, Tether, Circle, most famous. Then I think you've got crypto platforms, and Ethereum is the most famous of the crypto platforms, the platform upon which, with smart contract functionality, et cetera. And then I think you've got just crypto securities. It's just like my favorite whatever meme coin, and I love it because I love it, and it's attached to my game or my company or my persona or my whatever. I think if you pushed me and said, well, what's the second best? I would say the world wants two things. It wants crypto property as a savings account, and it wants cryptocurrency as a checking account. And that means that the most popular thing really is going to be a stablecoin dollar. Right. And there's maybe a fight right now, it might be Tether, right? But a stable dollar, because I feel like the market opportunity, it's not clear that there'll be one that will win. The class of stable dollars is probably a $1 to $10 trillion market easily. I think that in the crypto platform space, Ethereum will compete with Solana and Binance Smart Chain and the like. And I think what distinguishes human beings from all the other creatures on the earth is our ability to engineer. We're engineers, right?
To solve problems or just build incredible, cool things?
Engineering, harnessing energy and technique to make the world a better place than you found it. Right? From the point that we actually started to play with fire, right? That was a big leap forward. Harnessing the power of kinetic energy and missiles, another step forward. Every city built on water. Why water? Well, water's bringing energy, right? If you actually put a turbine, on a river, or you capture a change in elevation of water, you've literally harnessed gravitational energy. But water is also bringing you food. It's also giving you, a cheap form of getting rid of your waste. It's also giving you free transportation. You want to move 1-ton blocks around. You want to move them in water. So I think, I mean, the human story is really the story of engineering a better world. I mean, Bitcoin's a universal trust protocol, right? A universal energy protocol, if you will. English is one. Okay. What I see is a bunch of fragmentation of applications. For example, the Russian payment app is not going to work in Ukraine.
Right.
The Ukraine payment app is not going to work in Russia. The U.S. payment apps won't work either of those places, as far as I know. So, and in Argentina, their payment app may not work in certain parts of Africa. So what you have is different local economies where people spin up their own applications compliant with their own local laws, or in war zones not compliant, but just spinning up.
It is seen that Bitcoin has been trading in a narrow range for quite some time, and the fact is that it is not really moving on from the $40,000 price bracket. According to Saylor, it is all a question of perspective in terms of the time frame. Furthermore, Saylor also discussed when Bitcoin could break the correlation with risk assets. The CEO opened that being a maximalist or tech investor would be more advantageous in the long run. However, he believes that traders will continue to have a dominant position in the market as long as there is a highly turbulent market, uncertainty about Fed policy, and panic in the short term. With that being said, he revealed that Bitcoin will break the correlation sometime in the next 4 years, but couldn't be specific on the date. Given that there is a considerable crypto community on Twitter, Saylor doesn't think that there will be much impact on the crypto community if Musk takes over, or that it will become decentralized regardless of the outcome of all these discussions right now. So what do you think about Dogecoin? Is it a good investment option or not? Tell us in the comments. Also, don't forget to like and subscribe. See you soon with the next video. Thank you so much for watching.